The Surya Siddhanta, which goes back into the hori of time, estimated to be somewhere around 15 to 25,000 years ago. He's talking about the speed of light as 2,202 yojanas. In half a nimisha, 1 yojana, according to the modern units of measurement, would be nearly 9 miles. 1 nimisha means 16/75th of a second. If you multiply this, you get… this is the speed of light. He's talking about the speed of light over 15,000 years ago. And today, we have arrived at the same numbers with great difficulty, with all kinds of instrument. This is by simple observation of how the human system and the solar system functions together. The distances between the sun and the planet, the distances between the moon and the planet, and the way we rotate and the impact it has, all these things have been looked at with great care. Right now, the diameter of the sun into 108 equals the distance between sun and earth. This is today's measurement, it goes exactly like that. The diameter of the moon into 108 equals the distance to the earth. You know, why we put 108 beads in you must have lost quite a few of them by now, out of sync. Like this, I can go on with all kinds of fabulous figures. The most important thing is how the making of the time and the making of the human body are so deeply connected. If you know the planet is round and it has a slightly tilted orbit, if you take this orbit and as it travels, as it spins, here it forms a circle. To form this circle, today we know it takes 25,920 years. This is the time taken. This tilt mainly happens because of the gravitational pull of the moon over the earth. And for it to exert that pressure continuously to get this axis to form a circle, it takes this many years. And that many years is called as the one cycle of yugas. 25,920 by 60, because 60 is the number of minutes, 60 is also the number of heartbeats you should have if you are healthy, will turn out to 432. 432 is a number that comes up in various cultures, the Norse culture, the ancient Jewish culture, the Egyptian culture, the Mesopotamian culture, and very much here is 432. Why this 432 is, your heart beats 60 times a minute. If you're in a state of excitement, it may be doing more. If you are in a good health and in good condition, it beats 60 times. So 60 times into 60, it's 3,600 into 24 would be 86,400. This is what it would be. If you divide this by 2, if you leave this out, it's again 432. If you take the number of breaths that you're taking per minute, can you check and tell me how many breaths you're taking per minute? If you're not in a state of heavy excitement, you're doing 15. If you are in a state of sadhana, you've done lots of sadhana, then you could be 12, otherwise you will be 15. So, 15 breaths per minute means into 60 per hour, that is 900 24, that is 21,600. There is something called as a nautical mile, which is a real mile. That means, when I say the real mile, it has something to do with the planet and the way it is. The other units of measurement that we have created has something to do with the ease with which we can calculate. So 1 nautical mile literally means, you know there are 360 degrees in a circle, all of you know this. So upon the planet, there are 360 degrees. If this is the planet, if this is the equator, there are 360 going up like this. Let's say if you take this one as 1 degree, in this there are 60 minutes. It's referred to as minutes. There are 60 minutes. These 60 minutes, that 1 minute accounts for 1 nautical mile. So that means the circumference of the earth at the equator is 21,600. That's how many breaths you take per day. The planet is not spinning on time, no good at all for us. If you are not in tune with it, still no good for you. I'm just trying to make you understand, time is not just a concept that we invented. Time is deep-rooted in the system, in the very way we are made. So, when we go into Mahabharata, there is so much talk about the yugas and how they function, the impact of time on human life. I want you to look at it from a different context. This is not something that somebody thought up. This is a very phenomenal and profound science. Yoga is always deeply involved with this. It is just that we don't believe in propounding theories about it, but by practice we are trying to attune the body to the times and spaces of the creation the way it is. Because without being in tune with this, you don't get very far. If you are not riding the time, you will live a mediocre life, probably a very suffering life. Only if you are riding the time, you will live an extraordinary life, which is what a human being and the human brain is designed for. If you look at the orbit of the planet is here.
In the yogic astronomy, we divide this orbit into 27 segments called nakshatras. Each of these divide into 4 equal sectors called padas or steps, marking the 108 steps that the sun and the moon take through heaven. These 27 positions of the sun in relation to the earth plays a significant role upon the planet. These 27 represent the phases of the moon, from a Paurnami to Amavasya and from Amavasya to Paurnami. There are 27 segments. So as the planet is travelling, let us say from this nakshatra to this nakshatra, what is happening is the little moon is making its half a circle. As it goes to the next one, it completes the cycle, and as this is happening, the human cycles within the human body are responding and corresponding to that.
In a woman's body, it is very obviously there. Every 27.55 days, a cycle should happen in a woman's body if she has to be perfectly healthy. In the male body, it is happening in a different way. It is not so obvious and so manifest, but it is happening in a different way, and the cycle is of a larger span, because if it's a larger span and men don't have much arithmetic capabilities, they don't count, when was my last cycle? That is mainly because of arithmetic problems. But otherwise this is happening. This is happening all the time in the solar system. This is happening in the larger universe with relation to the solar system, and it is happening in this. So Pinda and Andanda, the microcosm and the macrocosm, both are playing the same game. But you tell me, who should play whose game? If you think the macrocosm is going to play your game, you will waste your life. If you play their game, your life will be greater beyond your expectation. Now Mahabharata, you need a certain context within yourself. This is a story which happened a little over 5,000 years ago, 3,140 BC. The war ended. And 3,102 BC, Krishna left his body. When the war ended, in about 3 to 4 months' time, the Kali Yuga began. When I say the Kali Yuga, in the movement of the solar system, I'm not talking about the movement of the planet. Now the solar system, here we are a solar system, our sun is here and we are all around. This itself is moving in the universe. This movement takes 25,920 years to complete this cycle. So, the larger star which is here inside this, the exact location, we do not know whether it is located centrally or somewhere to the side. From the effects and the way the climate changes and the way things happen upon the planet, we believe it is not in the center, it could be somewhere here or it could be somewhere here. It may not be that large, but it's somewhere here, the big star or a big system around which our system is going around. Whenever our system comes to a closer influence with this system, suddenly all the creatures living in this system, they rise to greater possibilities. Whenever our system moves away from this, the creatures living in this system, they come to the lowest level of possibility. When the creatures come to the lowest level of possibility, we say, this is Kali Yuga. Don't look so disappointed. I will tell you some good news.
So this division of yugas runs like this. If you divide this by two to split it into two halves, you will come 12,960. 12,960. So this is the journey from here to here. One half to cover the 4 yugas. It takes 12,960 years. The Satyuga lasts for 5,184 years. The Treta Yuga lasts for 3,888 years. The Dwapara Yuga will last for 2,592 years. The Kali Yuga lasts for 1,296 years. So if you add them up, you come to 12,960 to run the 4 yugas. 4 yugas 2 times over is 25,920. The end of Krishna's era is 3,102 BCE. Right now, we are in 2012. That means this is 5,114 years since Krishna's era ended. If you take away 2592 years, which is the cumulative number of years considering the two Kali Yugas, which is at the bottom of the ellipse, you get 2522 years. The duration of Dwapar Yuga being 2592 years, we still have 70 years left for the completion of Dwapar Yuga. That means 2082 we will be completing Dwapar Yuga and moving into Treta Yuga. The world will go through another upheaval, not necessarily in terms of war, but we will go through upheaval probably in terms of a population explosion and natural calamities, and move into the next era of well-being and upward movement of human consciousness.
So if you go by this, here starts the Satyuga when it's closest to our super sun, not our sun, the super sun. When we are closest to that, this is Satyuga. Here, human mind will be at its highest capability.